Here is the World on Water's 35th America's Cup report.
Man overboard on Sweden.
The shout of man overboard on the Swedish yacht Artemis topped out a dramatic first day of the Louis Vuitton Challenger Series final, with Emirates Team New Zealand enjoying a 2-1 lead in the first of 5 series. Artemis skipper Nathan Outridge slid off his boat in the third race of the day, just as the Kiwis were creating another come-from-behind lead change at Mark 5 in what was another incredibly tight race.
Yeah, I mean, we've had 5 out of 5 really close races with these guys, so that's what we expected going into today, and it delivered. So yeah, we're just expecting some more close racing, and yeah, just trying to pull off some good manoeuvres and keep it tight. 3 big close races, you know, but no, the power side of it was really good. So feeling pretty good to recover tonight and go into tomorrow fresh.
With Artemis ruling the start box in all 3 races, Peter Birding was playing catch-up all day. In the first race he was able to climb back, aided by a mistimed tack and a penalty for the Swedes for crossing the boundary line. But in race 2, Outridge was able to convert his superior starting into a win, with a flawless performance in which the Kiwis were given no chance to pass.
We definitely give ourselves a challenge, you know. I think we got great speed and Artemis have very consistent maneuvers, which you sort of expect at this stage. So yeah, it's just tight racing, and I hope we can get better in our pre-starts.
The man overboard, though, took the shine off a really close contest between 2 very evenly matched teams.
These races can prove to be
nip and tuck. I'm actually getting seasick watching that camera angle.
Is pivotal. Have the Swedes timed it well.
There's a little luff. He's actually heading up. Artemis Racing fully in control right now. A little luff, get them slow and bear away.
Yeah, the racing was really good today. You know, really happy with our starting. You know, dominated 3 starts, and you know, made it really difficult for them to get around us. I was just on the exit of attack, and you know, as you've seen, these boats spin really quickly in the tacks, and you know, in an effort to get crew weight up as quick as we could, I was halfway between the pod, the centre of the boat, and the cockpit, and at that moment Goobs gave it a nice little straighten up because we're on angle, because we've done a really nice tack, and the G-forces just sent me straight over the back. So I desperately tried to hold on to whatever I could find, but you know, there was nothing there. Pretty disappointing way to finish that 3rd race today, but you know, sometimes you just got to laugh off situations like that. It's you know, thankfully I wasn't injured at all, and you know, it was a shame the boys, you know, couldn't really go on without me. It's a pretty tough boat to sail with 5. It doesn't really matter who falls off. It's definitely going to affect performance, but you know, pretty happy with how we sailed up until that moment.
Yeah, I think we showed you know, the Kiwis that we're here for. You know, we're here to play, and we're here to win. So even though we come back to the dock with 2 losses, I mean, Nate fell out of the back in the last race, and we had good speed in the upper range of the win for these boards. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of positive things to take with us from this day going into tomorrow.
So I started sailing when I was about 9 in an Optimist, and then progressed through Starling and into laser radial, and in school I was quite strong in maths and physics, and so I found out about engineering, and that sounded like it was something I'd be interested in, and something that was, you know, applicable to sailing and the academic side of sailing, and understanding how boats worked and what would make them go faster. So a little bit later Dan Bernasconi got in contact with me, and I went into the base and had a bit of discussion with him about what I'd done, what I was interested in doing, what I might be able to do with the team. I'm mainly doing CFD, which is computational fluid dynamics, so I've been involved with the 2 main things is the fairing design, and then the other main project has been looking at the aerodynamics of the crew. So when I first joined, biking was sort of being thought about, whether it would be possible, whether it would work, if it could fit in the boat, how it would compare to conventional grinding from an aerodynamics point of view. And then we got to the point where, you know, where biking was looking pretty likely to go ahead, and we wanted to validate our results. So we booked 2 days at the wind tunnel at the university, and we've got a mock-up which we built some foam fronts and backs for to make it a bit more aerodynamic, and went there and had actual sailors and actual sailing gear, and with pedestals and bikes, so we're able to validate our results and check that the computer was telling us the truth. I mean, we're seeing that the opposition are standing up quite a lot in their boat. They're not actually getting down low very often. They're having to get enough power to get around the track, and they're standing up, and you know our guys on the bike are just have that much less drag than them standing up, which is pretty cool. Working at Team New Zealand's sort of a dream job for me, and to happen so quickly, it's really great. And I'm hoping we win it and we bring it home, and I can carry on, doing the same sort of thing, and learning more. Yeah.
This is the World Cup medal race for 49ers from Spain.
And the start goes now. We wait to see individual recall. So somebody was over, and who was it? It looks like it could be the Poles. POL 42. This is a disastrous start for POL 42, and somebody else is going back. The trouble is, no one quite knows if it's them or somebody else, or it could be both of them. But this is really going to hurt those Polish. We heard Lucas Cibatek talk very confidently before the start that he believed he was going to win today. Well, he can win, but getting a start like that really isn't helping his chances whatsoever. So let's look for Poland 42 in the middle of picture. This is one of the boats that went back. Look okay at the moment, but they've still got a few seconds to go. They pull in the sails, they accelerate, and their nose pokes out, and they look like they might be okay, but they respond very quickly, so they were very nervous about being over. They're not going to know for sure until after the race whether they needed to go back, but they were certainly one of the most poked out boats. Do you think it was right for them to go back, Saskia?
You have to go with your gut feeling in that situation, and you have a set play in the team that if one of you thinks you're over, you go back. That's what we had, and so you just
no debates.
Yeah,
as long as one of you believes you're over, you go back.
So the Spanish guys need 3 boats between him and Dylan and Stewie to get up into third, and 5 boats between him and the Polish or James Stewart and Finn to get up to the win. So this is all on right now. We haven't actually seen where any of the British teams are going to fall yet.
Well, they're about to go round now, so let's just have a look. That second place going round now. The Spanish have already gone round way in the lead. Argentina round in third place. Around goes Peters and Sterrett wearing the yellow jerseys because they hold the series lead. And the Poles, Poland 42, were over the line early, already back in 5th place. What an incredible comeback for the Poles, and a battle going on right there potentially for gold and silver in the middle of this fleet. But right at the back is GBR 3, a terrible race for them. They were the early race leaders, if you remember, just 2 or 3 minutes ago, but that right-hand side must have caved in because the left-hand side came in beautifully for ESP 97, who now have a tremendous lead already of 214 metres over the Poles in second place. Just an incredible lead, and we haven't even completed the first lap of this race. We just saw a beautiful manoeuvre there by the Spanish. They aren't holding back at all. They just did a very difficult manoeuvre that they made look extremely easy. A jibe set. They immediately went onto the opposite jibe, and as they were doing it, hoisted the Jenica all in one smooth movement. So really, really fantastic boat handling by them. But there is a possibility that who we are looking at in picture now, the boat leading this race, may be OCS. OCS is a form of disqualification. They may be one of the boats that should have gone back to restart. We saw POL 42 do that. We saw a couple of other boats do that. Should the Spanish have gone back to restart as well? Will they cross the finish line in a few minutes' time? Will they get that deafening silence? They'll be listening out for a Finnish gun, for a Finnish hooter. But if they hear that silence, they will realise the most horrible outcome you can have when you've just won a race by a country mile, when you're leading by 220 metres, only to find that you've been disqualified because you didn't start correctly. And now we look at this. Oh, there's a bit of a hand slap with the coach, but we don't see any full-on celebrations on the Spanish boat. So I wonder, I think we'd have seen more celebrations if they'd have just... It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Do they know yet? They still may not know the outcome. So whilst we believe they're OCS, that may still come as news to the Spanish when they get ashore.
Yeah, if it isn't, and that result stands, I think that gives them the silver medal, because Stewie and Dylan have disappeared off our.
That's Dylan Scott and Stu Bithell. Where do we believe they are? They've fallen back somewhat, have they?
Currently sitting in about 6th or 7th position, battling it out for 6th or 7th. So looking at the points in that sense, it would hold them still on the podium position at the moment.
But here's a couple of lads who I think are going to celebrate, possibly with the Union Jack in a moment. Have they got that Union Jack ready? They've got those yellow jerseys, and they went into the day as series leaders with the poles breathing down their neck. And Corky, who's that on the rib?
Unfortunately, that seems to be my brother. But yeah, Ben Rhodes, 2 times Olympian in the 49er, now coaching the 49er guys. And obviously the information that's being fed and providing that information to those boys seems to be good. So,
well, if you're not going to mention the World Championship that he also won in the 49er, I'll do that for Ben Rhodes as well. So he's now moved into the rib to become the British coach, and so he will be delighted for his young guns, James Peters and Finn Sterrett, who become World Cup Series champions in the 49er, continuing what has been a sensational start for them in 2017 and starting to challenge the more experienced crew of Dylan Fletcher and Stu Bithell, who have probably finishing this race as we speak, but who were not able to get close enough to challenge for the gold medal today. That goes to those yellow jersey boys that we are looking at right now.
A last gasp dash for a 1-second win in the final race of the day has left Emirates Team New Zealand on match point in the Louis Vuitton Challenger final, but not without shredding the nerves of Kiwi fans. After being well ahead of Artemis at the last mark, a mistake by helmsman Peter Burling almost let the Swedes through before the Kiwi boat finally powered up and held on to cross the line by the narrowest of margins.
Tough day for us. We've been end up on the wrong foils and really battled away, and we battled right till the end of that race, and we just missed the lay line to get through the gate marks to then jibe for the finish. So we did a really average jibe, struggled to get the starboard dagger board down, had to push super hard, and then we basically finally got it down, got going, and only beat them by half a length. So yeah, sorry for giving a heart attack. We were trying our hardest.
The day had begun with Emirates Team New Zealand choosing a light air setup, only to struggle against the heavier air configuration of the Swedes and a stronger than expected breeze. Artemis going to 2-all with a start to finish win. But the Kiwis bounced back when the wind dropped for their third come-from-behind win.
After yesterday, we sat down last night as a group and had a pretty honest chat, and we are struggling on the starts, but today we did a much better job, and if we had a bit better pace in some of those reaches, we would have been leading at Mark 1. But our sort of chat was just to try and consolidate, stay close at the bottom, and wait for our opportunity to pass on the upwind, because we had a real click on them there. So yeah, really pleasing in the starts to have taken a step forward. We're going to have to keep improving, keep getting better at that. But to come away with the day, another 2-1, yeah, really cool for the boys. We're going really quick upwind and just kept our cool and tried to wait for our opportunities to pass when we knew we had the speed. So, really awesome effort by the boys. It could have very easily gone the other way today. So, to be 4-2 up is pretty solid.
And away they go. There's nothing in it at the start, and they extended.
Yeah, it was another incredibly close day of racing. We had really good starts again. Won 3 starts convincingly, controlled the race, for at least the first half, and then you feel the New Zealanders slowly coming at you. I think as the breeze started to die, they started to get a little bit stronger with their configuration. Race 1, I think boats were going pretty even in pace upwind. We had the edge downwind. Second race, it died to as low as 10, 11 knots at times, and started to come in range for their dagger boards, and we tried to keep them behind us, tacking on top of them. And when you have a boat that has a higher mode like they did today, it makes it really difficult to cover them as a lead boat. And the third race, we did a really good job. We held them off all the way to the top mark and just missed that shift at the top mark. It's sometimes a bit of a toss of the coin at the top mark what to do, whether you add an extra tack and make them follow you, or you take the split and just try and keep it clean and go quick. And you know, we saw that they got a good shift on that first run, and you know, it was very hard for us to get them back from there.
Some have called you the comeback team. Can you pull another one?
Well, you know, we're able to do that in the semi-finals. It was you know, a steep hill for us to climb there, and you know, we like to keep things pretty interesting. So you know, we're in that position, and you know, excited about the challenge tomorrow.
Just about gonna nose it. Oh my goodness, what a breathless finish. Absolutely flying home and flying into the America's Cup match itself as the challenger. And the rematch against the Americans.
Yeah, look, it's been obviously a huge journey to even get here to Bermuda, and you know, today was certainly a nice day for the team as a whole. You know, I guess you have to you know, celebrate the small victories. We're only sort of at the 21-kilometre mark out of a marathon at the moment, so barely halfway to you know, obviously our ultimate goal of bringing the America's Cup back to New Zealand. We're under no illusion whatsoever that, you know, we've got a massive battle on our hands coming up against Oracle. You know, definitely you know, seen the movie before, and we're 100% just going to focus on the things that we can focus on to put ourselves ultimately in the best position to take on those guys in about 5 days' time. So looking forward to getting into that then.
Yeah, the team's definitely faced a bit of adversity at late after our capsize, and you know, a few other bits and pieces, but you know, as a group we've really pulled together and bounced back, and you know, to be able to get this done, and you know, today is yeah, really pleasing. You know, at the end of the day, we've come here to try and win the America's Cup, so that's what we're going to be trying to work on over the next few days. We'll definitely enjoy this milestone along the way because it's a pretty big one, but we're definitely going to keep pushing.
Bienvenue au bureau. You're watching the selling update, that's top news. Welcome to the office. Bienvenue au bureau. Cette semaine, de la plage de Leighton, située juste au nord de Fremantle. Bienvenue au bureau. Un bureau exceptionnel puisque je vous retrouve depuis Cape Town en Afrique du Sud avec derrière moi ce fabuleux IMOCA 60 qui va bientôt participer au Vendee Globe sous le nom de Face Ocean.
Alors, je m'appelle Sebastien Destremau, je suis toulonnais, régatier professionnel pendant des années, pendant 25 ans, devenu journaliste depuis, et maintenant qui repart sur les océans.
Est-ce que partir sur un océan, c'est une fuite de la société?
Oui.
Oui. Bah oui, tout à fait.
Le Vendee Globe, c'est quelque chose qu'il fallait que je fasse. C'est un événement tellement gigantesque. Il y a moins de 300 personnes qui ont passé le Cap Horn en solitaire. Il y a plus de 3000 personnes qui ont gravi l'Everest. Ça donne un peu la mesure de l'énormité de ce qu'est le Vendee Globe. Se retrouver seul en mer pendant 100 jours, c'est vraiment une énorme inconnue. Alors un petit peu moins une inconnue maintenant depuis qu'on a ramené ce bateau d'Afrique du Sud. On a passé 42 jours en mer, donc on a déjà passé un grand moment en mer avec ce bateau. On n'était que deux. Donc on a cette appréhension-là, je ne l'ai plus. Cette peur de rester très longtemps en mer. J'ai plus cette appréhension-là, j'ai quand même l'appréhension d'être tout seul, parce que deux c'est peu, mais c'est beaucoup plus que tout seul. Moi je suis un aventurier. j'ai toujours été comme ça. J'ai toujours vécu avec des challenges que je me suis posé, qu'on m'a posé, que la vie m'a posé. Et ma vie, c'est pas un fleuve tranquille du tout. C'est pas un boulot de 9h à 17h. J'ai jamais fait ça. J'ai jamais travaillé dans un bureau en tant que cadre ou quoi que ce soit dans une entreprise. J'ai 50 ans et j'ai toujours fait ça. Voilà. Je supportais pas l'école parce que il fallait aller à 8h30 à l'école et en sortir à 16h30. Et ça, c'était un truc, ça collait pas du tout avec mon caractère. Donc j'ai eu une scolarité minable. Aux grandes dames de ma mère d'ailleurs.
Il voulait naître, c'est évident. Il voulait sortir de l'endroit où il se trouvait, sans doute trop à l'étroit. Mais ce qu'il a découvert en naissant ne lui a pas plu du tout. Et il a commencé à le manifester. Les établissements scolaires n'en pouvaient plus les uns après les autres. Et c'est lui qui s'est créé sa situation. C'est lui qui l'a faite.
Pour l'anecdote, tu vois, à la maison, il n'y avait ni chaise, il n'y avait pas de chaise pour la table. On avait une table de cuisine et toute la famille mangeait assis sur des caisses, des cagettes de marché parce qu'on n'avait pas de chaise, mais on s'en foutait complètement parce qu'on avait 2 bateaux par contre. On en avait 2. Nous, les parents mettaient leurs économies dans des bateaux et non pas dans des chaises. Notre père, quand on avait 10 ans, 11 ans, nous a acheté un bateau, un petit bateau de 5,50 m, un corsaire. Et ça nous a permis, aux trois enfants, il y avait les parents sur leur bateau à eux, qui faisaient un bateau de 8 mètres. C'était un truc... Mais d'un seul coup, on avait 10-12 ans, et d'un seul coup, on s'est retrouvés, nous, responsables, skippers d'un bateau, à nous. Bon, à papa, mais à nous, c'était un bateau de 5,50 m, c'est pas très grand. Mais quand tu as 10 ans, 5,50 m, c'est déjà beaucoup. Et surtout, tu es responsable de ce bateau-là. Et c'est sans doute le moment le plus fort de mon enfance, c'est des souvenirs d'aller, la liberté que la mer, que partir sur l'eau peut apporter. La mer, en fait, l'océan, en fait, je sais faire que ça.
You can get the story of Sebastian's Vendee Globe race at Amazon.